Thanks, Philip, and welcome to Today in Putnam County, the show that's talking about all the great things happening in our community. Hope you're having a great Saturday morning. My first guests today are Dee Prince and Alex Conohan, and I always mess up your name. I apologize up front. So give us the correct pronunciation.
Alejandra Cisneros Conohan.
I'm sorry.
That's such a mouthful.
It is. That's why we call her Alex,
That's
right?
exactly right. That's exactly right.
They're with Impact Leadership, and good morning. Glad to have both of y'all on the show.
Great to be here
Thank
this
you
morning.
so much for having us. We appreciate you.
We've got one of, I call Cookville's premier events coming up this Sunday night, tomorrow night, at the Leslie Town Center, and it's the Impact Banquet. And that's what we want to talk about today is that banquet and what it means to the community, but also what Impact actually does and what it stands for. Can one of you start and go back and tell us about the beginning of Impact?
Sure. So I'll start. Robert Owens, of course, back in 2009, had this idea to get men of like faces together, and so it was a minority leadership group that just kind of started off with a bunch of guys sitting around talking. We all had a vision. We all had an idea of trying to be assets to the community. Why not do it in a synergetic type dynamic with all the equal parts coming together? So we came up with Impact, which stood for Innovative Men Progressing the African American Community Together, which is a mouthful. It has since changed now, but it just started with us trying to help the community become better. It wasn't that the community was bad and we were trying to make it good. It was good and we were just trying to make it great.
We'd always be better.
Absolutely.
No matter
and so
what
we got to a point to where we started holding events. Of course, we had the Juneteenth event. We started doing job readiness events, trying to help out with people and their resumes, a bunch of other things that we were doing as well. And then it came around to do this Impact Honors Banquet, where we wanted to honor African Americans in the community. And so it spawned into what we have now, and this is the 7th annual event that we're having. And at the event, we're actually going to have a short video that will showcase, 10 years of progress, a decade of progress.
Isn't it amazing how fast 10 years goes?
It's been a long time.
And what a great job Impact has done in our community. And so Rob Owens and a group of you guys started this back in 2009, am I correct? Mm-hmm. And Impact, though, is becoming more than what the original intent was. Alice, can you go talk a little about that?
So as Dee was mentioning earlier, it's still Impact. However, our acronym has officially changed to be more inclusive. Mm-hmm. So now it stands for Innovative Minds Progressing All Communities Together. The mission is still the same. We want to have underrepresented populations of our society actively serve for the betterment of the community, to serve on different boards and take a few more leadership roles, so that we can take advantage really of the diverse and rich culture that we have here in our community, but we really haven't tapped into it hardly at all. And so part of the mission is to expand that and use all the talent that we have. From the original Impact, of course, we've grown, and now we have Impact Leadership, and that has been such a wonderful mission to be on, and I was part of the first cohort, and it has been amazing. I've learned more about being on different boards in the community, how to connect other people to the right resources, and being in the human resources and social aspect of the work that I've done has helped tremendously connect people who have lived here, some of them all their lives, and don't know what we offer. And so part of our mission is to train and retain the talent that we have here, so that we can have a higher impact on economic development, education.
Workforce development.
Workforce development, which
Exactly.
you know a lot about, being on the state board now for workforce development. Cookville, Putnam County, we're not Mayberry like we once were. We're bringing in international companies. We just announced the largest project in Putnam County history. We're bringing in a company from Brazil. We just brought in Colorobia from Spain, Vicosa. We're seeing these other nationalities come and they're making Cookville and Putnam County home.
Right.
So Impact is helping that progress by reaching out to these folks and trying to make sure that that they don't get left out of the community events.
Absolutely.
I just a real quick point. When I've been with Focosa for 3 years, which is a Spanish company, having Alex there now really does speaks volumes to the connection that her impact leadership background has. She's doing such a fabulous job over there, and of course that language barrier that existed previously,
Yes.
because we really didn't. We had somebody from Spain who spoke English, of course, and was able to communicate to the Cookville community as well as to Spanish management. However, Alex is so in tune with the community that it takes it to another level. Not that it was bad before;
Right.
it was good before. But like I said, we're doing better.
Stepping our game
Absolutely, and that's what we need. So the impact that impact leadership has had from a workforce development aspect, you can actually see it with Focosa now, just from where we work. And there's other places, of course, that we have impact members that are kind of planted and seeded in different companies, and we're hoping to expand that with the new companies that come in as well.
How many members does Impact have now?
Wow.
Oh my gosh, right now I couldn't even tell you, but
Yeah,
it
it's quite a few.
surpasses some hundred.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are a lot.
And the banquet that you put on each year, which is Sunday night, and unfortunately is already sold out.
Yes, it is. Maybe a couple of stray tickets that
Somebody may be able to find,
you
but
give me an extra $100 and maybe
message deep
Message
print.
deep
Absolutely. If you are interested in a ticket and maybe you missed the window of getting them online, certainly you can look us up on Facebook, Impact Leadership, through that Facebook page, or Impact Cookville, and message one of the members and see if maybe somebody's unable to come due to work, or unexpected things happen, but there might be one or two.
Yeah.
And they can always look for next year. This is an
Absolutely.
annual event that keeps growing.
Yeah.
You're going to be looking for another venue maybe at some point in time.
Quite possibly going to have to get there. Now, I'm glad that you mentioned, quite possibly if you miss it and may have to come next year. So what we're doing this year, we're actually broadcasting on Facebook Live. We have a lot of people
That's
on
great.
social media that are linked into the videos that we show or the videos that we post on Facebook especially. So what we're going to do is we're going to have this interactive look, Facebook Live from the banquet. There's going to be such a good looking host that's going to be doing that on Facebook
Modest
Live.
one too.
Oh, yeah, just a little
I
bit.
mean, no, the guy is good. I mean, he really is. He's talented too. Oh, it's me.
Oh, it's Steve?
Yeah, it's me. So we're doing that to have a just like a really good look at the banquet if you're not able to make it. So then that'll encourage people to quite possibly
To want to
go ahead
come
and
in the future.
Yes.
So tell our listeners, if they want to get involved with Impact, how would they go about that?
Absolutely. I think the best way to stay in touch with us is through our social media. So please be sure to like us on Facebook. You can go to Impact Leadership and Impact Cookville. I just posted, Elaine Boyd did a wonderful job revamping our website. But at the moment, social media is the best way to keep in touch with us, to see what opportunities we have for volunteers, how to get involved. And of course, as the economy is now more global than ever, you can also keep in touch with maybe if you're looking for a job or opportunities. Certainly stay in touch with us that way.
So real quick, I just wanted to say it's our 7th annual Impact event. We're honoring Mr. James Gist. We're honoring Dr. Carl Owens.
Oh, wow.
We're going to have John Stoddard. He's a Grammy Award-winning
Nominated
producer and arranger. We've got a DJ. We've got dancing at the end. We've got Perrin Rice coming back to host. So say no more. Lots of good food. Lots of good fun.
Great event, and let me say to both of you and all the Impact leadership, what a great job that everyone is doing. You're bringing our community together with all the folks that are moving into our community. We're making sure that everyone's included, and what a great job, and I thank you for being on the show this morning.
We appreciate it.
Thank you
And
so
I
much,
look forward
Randy.
to seeing you Sunday night, 5:30
Absolutely.
at the Leslie Town Center.
Be there.
Sorry if you don't have a ticket, but look for next year, or watch us on Facebook Live.
That
as
good-looking host, man.
as it's broadcast. That's right. Thanks for being with us this morning, guys. You're listening to Today in Putnam County on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. I'm Randy Porter, your host. Coming up, Emergency Management Director Tyler Smith. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Executive Randy Porter. We're doing the show that's talking about all the great things happening in our community. I hope you're having a great Saturday morning. My next guest this morning is Emergency Management Director Tyler Smith. Good morning, Tyler.
Good morning.
Glad to have you on the show.
Thanks for having me.
We've got a special week coming up this next week for emergency management. Tell us what that's all about.
Severe Weather Awareness and Flood Awareness Week. This week we've had several rounds of flooding, a lot of street flooding, and it goes to tell people how to prepare themselves. That's why Severe Weather Awareness Week, that's what it's all about, is keeping you safe. I'd like to touch on mainly the flooding issues. If you're living in a flood-prone area and there's rising water, of course, you're going to seek higher ground or get out of areas that are flooded. Never go through flooded roads, cars that go through flooded roads.
We have that happen a lot.
We do.
Stand in water, creeks that are out of their banks, what looks like maybe a few inches of water. Once they get into it, they figure out that it's not. I don't think most people realize how powerful water is when it's traveling during flooding times.
You're exactly right. It only takes 2 feet of water to pick a vehicle up.
Wow.
So 12 inches of rushing water to take you off your feet. So, we tell folks turn around, don't drown, because they're taking that chance of going across that flooded road. That road could be washed away. The tiles could be washed away. So if you drive across that, you're going to go.
You never know what's under under the water. So this happens every year. Tennessee does it every year, the Severe Weather and Flood Awareness Week, and it's to bring awareness to people just how dangerous weather events can be. We've had a lot of flooding, especially over the last year with so much rain. I think we set a record last year for rainfall.
Yes.
And I know that Putnam County, even though we set up on the plateau, we still have a lot of places that flood, and I know we have a swift water rescue team. Tell folks a little bit about what that team does to help rescue folks.
Yeah, each year our team practices, goes out and trains, and we've got about 10 members on that team, and we try to recruit more, to get our team built up. But we assist not only in Putnam County but surrounding counties. We've gone to different locations across the state actually to help during swiftwater rescues, and we've also relied on other swiftwater teams to help us. During the 2010 flood, we had to get other counties to come in and help us because we had like 6 calls going on at one time. But yes, that's a very dangerous part of a rescue is doing that swiftwater rescue.
That's why we're called the volunteer state.
That's it.
That we help each other, and our region is well known for that, to working together and helping each other in times of need. But when we think about severe weather, it's not just floods. We just celebrated this last week the 4th anniversary, I guess, in 2015, probably the worst ice storm maybe in Putnam County history, at least in modern times. That was a crippling event that we've been planning for years, those type of events, but when it actually hits, amazing destruction that happened to the eastern inner county. You remember those days well, don't you?
We worked in Monterey at the fire hall for 2 weeks, working in a satellite EOC up there that we put everything together, and it worked out well. There was a lot of power outages. I think some folks were without power for 3 weeks, but there was a lot of lessons learned from that event, and a lot of things that people need to know about when there's power outages for that long.
Yeah, we take some of that for granted, that our power's always going to be on, the water's going to be on. We're talking to Tyler Smith, Emergency Management Director, this morning. It's Severe Weather and Flood Awareness Week coming up on February the 24th through March the 2nd. We've been talking about some of the tips and things that you can do to be safe in these kinds of storms. Tyler, let's go a little bit into your background. You've got a long family history of being in emergency management, and your dad goes back, Sam Smith, for listeners that probably knew Sam, kind of the father of emergency management back when it was called Civil Defense.
Yes.
Been looking at some of the old pictures that I've been posting of on Facebook and have some of those, and back in the days when they did a lot with very little. We've come a long ways over the years. Tell us a little bit about your history and when you got started in emergency management.
I say grew up in emergency services. actually started with helping my dad when I was about 10 years old. He started off in civil defense back in the 60s with auxiliary police. It was under civil defense under Colonel Hayes. He was director at that time, and Dad was the operations officer through the civil defense. And then when Colonel Hayes retired, he requested my dad to be the director at his and so Dad started civil defense back in the mid-70s, and until he passed away in '95. But he was the first fire chief of Putnam County, so he helped start the fire department. And then there was also the mounted police. He was helped organize the mounted police.
I forgot about that.
So there was the rescue squad, the fire department, the mounted police, auxiliary police was all under civil defense at that time.
Those were, civil defense was actually created during the nuclear threats and different things that happened back then during, after the wars. And Sam was a great man, and he was very dedicated to his job, even though that was actually a part-time job for Sam. Ran the glass shop and with your mom, but he was always available. He was always available to go on calls, and I guess it's kind of in your blood, isn't it?
It is. When I go to school, people say, "How do you get to go to all these, accidents and fires and stuff?" And it was just exciting for me at a young age to get to do that. Now today you couldn't do that.
It's a totally different day, isn't it?
Yeah.
I can remember I started with rescue and EMS and the fire department back in '79 or '80. Our equipment was very little. Our fire trucks were pickup trucks that got through a TVA grant, I believe, that your dad got.
Yeah, actually the first fire truck was a Ford van, and I can't if it's a '50s model, but they had two 55-gallon drums, a water pump, and a garden hose, and they actually put some fires out with that.
Ray Talent, Sam Smith, Russ Cyphers, my father-in-law, they did a great job back then with so little equipment and so forth. Totally changed today.
Oh, yeah.
When you look at all the changes that you've seen, not only do you have to deal with weather today, but you're dealing with hazardous materials, trench rescue, cave rescue, all these other types of events that they have to deal with on a day-to-day basis. How do you keep up with all that?
Well, sometimes it's hard to. I mean, we've got, like you said, there's all kinds of things that can happen. Of course, we talked about the ice storm. That was a big event for us. And
1.5 million worth of damage,
yes.
I think, that we claimed, and that did not include. You got the electrical utilities that were on their own that went way up into the millions and millions of damage that happened with those.
Yeah, the main thing is with emergency management is we are a resource agency. We make sure that the resources are available locally. Once that's depleted, then we ask state resources to come in and help, and then also federal resources. So we go through the State Emergency Operations Center in the event that we need additional resources for that, which the governor can request that through FEMA also.
So we're talking about TEMA and FEMA, the Tennessee Emergency Management Agency and Federal Emergency Management Agency, that everybody works together from the top down to make sure that we get what we need. I know during the ice storm we needed a large generator to power the water plant or water treatment plant in Monterey, and TEMA sent that to us, so we get that water plant back up. We're talking with Tyler Smith, our Emergency Management Director, this morning. You're listening to Today in Putnam County on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub. I'm Randy Porter, your host. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Today in Putnam County. I'm your host, County Executive Randy Porter. Hope you're having a great Saturday morning. We're talking with Emergency Management Director Tyler Smith this morning about Severe Weather and Flood Awareness Week, which is this upcoming week, February 24th through March the 2nd. Tyler, we've been talking about tips and pointers of people what not to do about not driving through water, flood waters, and different things. Let's talk a little bit about the notifications of the way that we get out warnings and so forth to the residents. Putnam County has a pretty elaborate assist program of different things that allow us to get the information out to the viewers. And listeners, can you talk a little bit about those?
Yeah, we're fortunate here in Putnam County, and we've heard from different emergency management agency directors talk about how well we've got alerting features across our county. There's multiple ways that you can receive alerts. We have the IPAW system. That's the Integrated Public Alert Warning System. That's a system that we can activate. We activated that during the ice storm. It automatically sends a message to your cell phone.
No matter
where
you're
at.
from
Yes.
or what carrier you're
Yes.
with, it hits all the cell
We
phones.
zone it out, and we can send that message out. It activates your phones. It can call your phones. So it's to activate the billboards. So it's a neat system through the Federal Emergency Management Agency is actually what that's through.
With the iPaws. You also have your own app.
Yes, we have the EMA app, Putnam EMA app. It's has a push notification, so we can send messages to your phone directly, just instantly. We can actually do live video feeds if we need to. And you get weather information, school closings, road conditions. You can just search that in the App Store at Putnam TN, and that's a very good app to have.
Free app
Free
that they
app,
can
yes.
download on their cell phone. I have that app on my phone. It's amazing at how fast the information gets out to the people when we have something. Also, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram has become very popular with folks, and I know that you have a large presence on those social media. Is that a good way for folks to keep
It
up?
is. You know, that we had to type the messages in. Now we have an automated system that sends those weather alerts to the Facebook page and then sends it to Twitter. So you're getting those weather alerts instantly from the Weather Service through that. And a lot of people use that as a source of getting their information. But yeah, that's good.
So if folks are interested in all this, you have a website. Tell us
Yes.
the address for that.
Yeah, www.cpcema.org.
Or a Facebook page.
Or the Facebook is Putnam County Emergency Management. That's the Facebook.
They can go online and
Online.
look at all
Yes.
these and sign up for the alerts and everything. It's a great thing to have. Also, the emergency weather radios, people can buy those, purchase those, and you'll program those
Yes,
for them?
for free.
For free?
We don't
at your-
charge for any of our services. You know, no weather radios we always recommend those. Those are battery backup, so if the power goes out, you're still going to get that alert. So those are about $40. But you can get those at any electronics store.
And those things are great. They sit there, you forget about them, but they alert you in the middle of the night or at any time when you have a weather warning or any kind of emergency coming out. Tyler, we have something that I've always thought is amazing that folks are willing to do this, but we have something called storm spotters. They go
Yes.
out in these storms. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we each year it's the National Weather Service. We have a class, a storm spotter class, and actually we had one 2 weeks ago. We had 85 participants come to the class.
Wow.
But it teaches what to report and what not to report. And some people think it's storm chasing, but it's not. It's storm spotting, and the reason for that is because the Weather Service, the further out from the radar site, they have a harder time seeing rotation. So we need spotters out there in the field to give the information reported back to us at the EMA office or to the Weather Service, so we can have a better idea if that tornado's on the ground.
Eyes out in the field.
That's right.
to know. That's a very dangerous, though. These guys have to go through this training and gals to be able to know what to do. So if you're interested in one of those classes, you hold them regularly?
Yes, we have them each year, normally in the springtime, and you can do an online version too. You can go to the National Weather Service's webpage, and they're actually doing some online versions, and they've got different dates scheduled on their website.
We hold the classes here locally at our 911 Emergency Operations Center here on County Services Drive. In a minute or so we got left. Let's talk about next week with the Severe Weather and Flood Awareness Week. We'll be doing some testing, probably a Wednesday with the emergency alert system.
Yeah, Wednesday morning is the tornado alert, so we'll be, weather permitting, we'll be sounding the outdoor warning sirens. This is a good time for the businesses and the schools to practice their tornado drills. The state will be doing this across the state at 9:30 a.m.
And it'll be going across radio and TV with emergency alert system to let
Yes.
folks know, but it is a test.
It is a test.
If there should be severe weather going on at that time, it'll be delayed,
It will
right?
be, yes.
Tyler, you do a great job. I want to thank you for what you do for Putnam County. Your whole family, Sam, Marty, and everyone's been involved in emergency management for all these years, and I'm glad you're here, and thank you for taking care of us.
Thank you.
It's now time for What's Happening, the part of the show where I keep you informed on some of the special events going on in Putnam County. Sunday, February the 24th at 5:30, as we talked earlier, the Impact Banquet at Leslie Town Center. It's one of Cookeville's premier events. It's sponsored by Impact Leadership. Friday, March the 1st, starts the Upper Cumberland Home and Garden Show at Hyder Burks. It's sponsored by the Upper Cumberland Home Builders Association. The times are 4 to 8 on Friday, 9 to 6 on Saturday, and 12 to 4 on Sunday. Saturday, March the 2nd at 6 p.m., the Cook Vegas Gala at our Upper Cumberland Regional Airport. That's sponsored by the Cookeville Children's Museum, and all the proceeds go to benefit the museum. Wednesday, March 13th at 5:30 p.m., the Spring Carnival at the Cookeville First Baptist Church here at on Walnut and Spring Street. Bounce houses, games, food, fun for the whole family, and it's all free. That's Wednesday, March the 13th at 5:30. Saturday, March 16th at 6:30, Murder Mystery and the Cookeville Movie Awards at the Salt Box Inn. That is sponsored by the Cookeville Sunset Rotary. Saturday, March 16th and Sunday, March 17th, starting at midnight each night. Great event coming to our community, the free medical, dental, and vision clinic sponsored by RAM. That will be at the Cookeville High School. If you have folks that are in need of free medical, dental, and vision care, they can go and line up at midnight, and it'll be offered free at the Cookeville High School. Friday, March the 22nd at 7 p.m., Nitro Arena Cross motorcycle races. That's sponsored by the Motorhead Events, Tennessee Tech Hyder Burks Arena on Gainesboro Grade. That starts at 7 o'clock on both Friday and Saturday, March 22nd and March 23rd. Then on Saturday, April the 13th, the Cookeville Regional Charitable Foundation's Pink Gala, which is a great event each year at the Leslie Town Center. Proceeds go to pay for ladies' mammogram program that's offered by Cookeville Regional Hospital. And that's what's happening. For any details that you'd like to have on any of these events, you can go to my website at randyporter.org or my Facebook page, Putnam County, Tennessee. And finally this morning, I'll leave you with something to think about. We've been talking this morning with Emergency Management Director Tyler Smith about Severe Weather Awareness Week. As a county, we offer many ways to warn you of severe weather and other emergencies. Please take advantage of these and protect your families. These storms can be very dangerous and hit at a moment's notice, so please take it serious, as your life and your family's life may depend on it. That's our show for today. I want to thank all of our guests this morning for being here, Dee Prince and Alex from Leadership Putnam with the great event coming up Sunday night. Also Tyler Smith, our Emergency Management Director, as we have Severe Weather and Flood Awareness Week that's coming up this week, February 24th through March the 2nd. Today in Putnam County is featured here each Saturday morning on News Talk 107.7 and 1400 The Hub at 10:30 a.m. We hope you'll join us every Saturday. Remember, you can also download the WHUB app and listen to us on your cell phone from anywhere you are. If you missed any of our shows, check out my website at randyporter.org, where you can catch all of our past shows. Also, don't forget to follow me on social media with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I'm County Executive Randy Porter, hoping you have a great rest of your Saturday, and may God continue to bless our great county.